G'day, this is Gary007 and welcome to my channel. So, if you like this sort of content, don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, help my little channel out, and leave a comment below. I'm interested in your thoughts about level 58 boosts in World of Warcraft Classic TBC. So, this is sort of a really short video, but I thought I might comment on this. And now I know I'm probably a little late to the party on this sort of topic, but however, I'd like to sort of weigh in my own sort of thoughts on the boosting when it comes to TBC when it gets released and Blizzard's sort of intentions behind it. So let's start off with the very obvious things. These level 58 boosts for Classic TBC do come with some restrictions. It can only be used in Burning Crusade realms, not on Classic era. So these boosts do not affect Classic in any way possible, shape or form. They are only designed for Burning Crusade realms. Cannot be used for Draenei or Blood Elves, so you cannot boost these two races, these two factions, and only one per account, so you don't have multiple people buying multiple 58 boosts. I guess that's a really good thing because it probably stops a lot of gold farmers from basically boosting characters to farm gold, moats and sell and do the whole gold trading bot thing. So there are pros and cons to this sort of thinking behind boosting. So we'll look at some of the pros, right? So the first pro that I've got is it lets you focus on the new content. So if you're not interested in Classic and you're only interested in TBC and you're coming into the game, it lets you focus on the content that's everybody else is playing. Basically, if you're wanting to play Burning Crusade content and you start at level 1, you're missing out. So you get straight into the new content. That's a plus, right? That is a pro. It's a catch-up mechanic. Also, when you look at the 58 boost, it's a catch-up mechanic and it lets you play with your friends. And that's the big thing, right? So a lot of people, it's a social game, TBC, so you don't want to be left behind and you want to be playing with your friends. Time management is another thing. A pro, when I say time management, I mean, instead of spending a month or so leveling your character up to eventually go into Outland and do the content that everybody else is doing, takes time, right? And you might not be in a position to spend that time leveling that extensively. So by getting a level 58 boost, it's a time management thing in which you can spend more time having fun on the content that you want to play. The other pro is it skips a lot of gold sellers, right? So Blizzard has sort of dropped the ball a little bit when it comes to bots and gold sellers. And I know a lot of people that buy gold and boost anyway with the current system in Classic. It has ruined the economy, but at the same time, people's mindsets have changed dramatically. This used to be a taboo subject way back in the day. Now it's quite an open secret now that a lot of people are just buying gold, boosting their characters, and just getting into the current content they want to play. People don't want to level 1 to 60 anymore. They want to go out and do raiding. They want to go straight into the PvP scene, whatever it is. They want to get into the action, right? So the mindset's changed a little bit. So Blizzard bringing out this 58 boost, instead of people dealing with websites and gold sellers, you'll be dealing with Blizzard. People will probably feel safer doing it this way and then going through gold sellers. But again, it's only one per account, so it doesn't quite get rid of all the gold sellers. So the cons, the price point into this whole thing would be quite expensive for some people that can't afford it. What's the price point for buying this? Because it's not going to be a free service, you'll be buying this. You'll be buying the level 58 boost, and it could be quite expensive. You could be shelling it at $40. I'm not sure. They haven't sort of told us what the price point is. The other con to this is professions. So even though you get boosted, you're not going to have first aid, you're not going to have your profession leveled. I'm assuming that you will have your normal riding mount. They'd have to give you your normal riding mount at level 58, but you'd still need to buy your epic riding mount. There's a huge con there. So if you're planning on doing a boost, you may want to go back and get your professions done later in the game. It's something that is very time consuming in itself. You won't have an epic mount, so you'll be riding around Outland at 60% speed. You'll be one of those people. The other con is, now I don't think this is a major con, realistically. You don't know the class. So a lot of people might be boosting a character at level 58. It will probably take them a little while to get used to the class, the ins and outs and the nuances when it comes to playing that particular class. So if you go to 58 and then you go into Outland, level a couple of levels, and you go into a dungeon, you might make a fool of yourself, especially if you're a healer or tank, because you're not sure about how to play your class just yet. Now, I put it down as a con, but I won't put it down as a hard con, because it doesn't really take long to learn a class, because in TBC the opposite happens. And when I say that is that it's not very complicated rotations in TBC. Actually, a lot of the rotations are simplified even more for a lot of classes compared to Classic. Now, that's sort of my point on this. Now, my point and my thought process behind level 58 boost. Some people are just over Classic now and they've stopped playing or can't bring themselves to play Classic anymore, while others are just waiting for TBC to come out. I'll give you an example. My brother, he plays well, right? He plays Shadowlands, he's played well, played TBC, he's played Warlords of Draenei, he's played all the expansions, right? Him and my brother-in-law introduced me into World of Warcraft, actually. I asked him when Classic came out, I said, oh, you want to play Classic with me? And he said, nah, I'm not interested in Classic at all. I did it back in the day, did the PvP thing, I got to rank 13 or 14, whatever it was back in the day. I am not going back to that. I've done my warrior. I did it on my warrior. I'm not going back to it. I'm not interested in Classic. And then I asked my brother-in-law the same question. I said, oh, come on, let's go out and let's level together in Classic. We'll have some fun. We'll do some dungeons and stuff like that. I'll get you into a raid. And my brother-in-law was the same. He said, oh, I'm not really interested in Classic. You know, I did it back in the day. I'm not really interested in coming back to it. I played a druid. Got bad memories of playing a druid back in the day in World of Warcraft. I said, yeah, that is fine, no worries. And I tried to convince them. They weren't interested. So when I asked them about, oh, would you play TBC though? Would you come back and play TBC with me? And they both said, my brother and my brother-in-law said, they're really interested in coming back for TBC. They felt TBC was more of a balanced game and they liked it a lot more and had a lot more fond memories of playing TBC. No one wants to be forced into spending well over a month doing completely irrelevant content while everybody else is doing all the fun stuff. So that's my point in a nutshell. There are people that are just waiting for TBC to come out. Some people are over it and some people just don't want to be forced playing irrelevant content. They just want to do what everybody else is doing, and that's playing the fun stuff, the current stuff. So that's sort of my thought on the whole thing. When it comes to boost for 58, I'll probably get a boost, level 58. I haven't decided yet. It'd actually probably be a class I've never played before, just so I can have a little bit of fun with it. That's the whole idea of an MMO, isn't it, at the end of the day? So to have fun with it. Anyway, if you like this sort of content, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment below. And yeah, I will see you out in Outland. Okay then, bye.